Welcome back to America Right Now. School mask mandates have generated a lot of debate and pushback from parents across the country. One group tried to make the conversation a little bit more productive by holding a debate on the issue, which included as a moderator Randy Weingarten, the president of the United Federation of Teachers. So how did it all go, and what's their reaction to the news this week that the DOJ may actually start targeting parent activists? We're joined by Michelle Walker and Eric Hartman. They're the co-founders of Open Schools USA. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So I think that what you did was really terrific because you brought all sides together to have a substantive conversation and you used facts to bolster the argument. Let's take a listen to some of what was said about the school mask mandates in this debate.
Adult vaccination rates in the Bay Area are actually equal or higher to what they are in Denmark, and all the kids are masked outdoors in the Bay Area. It's a strange disconnect, I think.
By the way, I had not heard that kids were being forced to wear masks outdoors, but
California, yep, everywhere. Well, not in the private schools, only the public schools. From what I've seen.
So you had this virtual debate there. Eric, were you surprised? And I'm no big fan of the UFT. I think anybody who watches the show knows that. But were you surprised that they wanted to participate in this?
A little bit, yeah. I think that one of the big problems we've had from the very beginning is a lack of our voice. Parents have just not been listened to. It's been a building frustration for over 18 months now. And we struggled with it to get the schools open in the spring. And now we're struggling with it with all these other issues, the masks, the asymptomatic testing, and of course, there's always something else coming down the road.
Yeah. Michelle, what is your elevator pitch on why mask mandates for kids are, at this point, they should not be mandatory, if not ridiculous?
Right. They are absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, the science doesn't substantiate the use of masks. I would also argue that it does impact their academics. It hurts their learning. It creates issues for them. I've heard a lot of complaints about headaches, and there's other issues that are happening. I know that I have a friend that's a kindergarten teacher, and she said she's very concerned, just last night told me she was very concerned about her students learning and being able to learn how to read. That's a big deal. I mean, yeah, that's something that needs a lot of attention, in my opinion.
It seems to hit, the younger kids, especially those formative years of kindergarten, first, second, third grade, when they're learning how to read. It seems to be particularly damaging, in my view, for them as a parent, and also having watched this as you guys have. Eric, have you had some success in getting some of these mask mandates or other COVID restrictions lifted? You've been helping to organize parents.
Yeah, it's a bit of a patchwork. Overall, the public schools are still a basket case across the country, but there are, little bits of, rays of light. And there's also little bits of real horror stories that are still going on. The New York City schools are a special case of stupidity. Our schools here in the suburbs of New York, we don't have masks on kids outdoors, but they're still doing these stupid things like they have to eat, in masks, separated from each other. So it's an endless series of fights from a local level, and it's super frustrating.
Michelle, obviously the big news out of education this week and these fights that you guys are in is that the FBI is threatening to treat parents like domestic terrorists or otherwise investigate them if they push back too hard against CRT or other issues. Do you think that that's going to have a chilling effect on the efforts of parents who want to engage in what's going on in public schools? Or do you think that folks they're really girded for the fight here?
I would say that you're probably going to see parents very upset, very angry, very reactionary, not necessarily in a violent or anything like that, but they're going to be upset. Yeah. They're going to fight more. I don't know that they'll do it at the school board meetings, but I know that they're going to be more vocal.
Yeah, Eric, when you hear that the Attorney General's son-in-law is making a fortune off of things like critical race theory, as a citizen, as a parent, as an American, how does that make you feel?
The hypocrisy, it just doesn't surprise any of us anymore. And it's a real mystery as to how the blatant hypocrisy does not, change the opinions and change the minds of some of the other parents who are, still in favor of mask mandates and things. This whole thing is just a rolling ball of stupid that has been going on for 18 months, and it's just so frustrating and tiring.
A rolling ball of stupid. I think that's actually a really good place to end it. Eric Hartman and Michelle Walker, thanks. Thank you for trying to elevate the conversation and standing up for all of our kids.
Thanks, Tom.
Coming up, we've got a lot more, and you're watching America Right Now. Don't go away.